Hello, everybody. My name is Alexis. I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, and author of the book A Journey into Truth, Unveiling Life's Secrets for Truth Seekers. And you are watching the Vibrate to Create YouTube channel. And on this channel, I talk about life, philosophy, meaning, art, spirituality, metaphysics, and so much more. If you're interested in topics like these, then click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of when I post new videos so you never miss a video. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Vibrate to Create YouTube channel. So today, we are going to be talking about family constellations. I've actually talked about it before, and I had to refilm it because it's so tough to describe this work. There are so many aspects and avenues that go into this work that it's like giving a tiny little grain of sand in a whole sea of, like a whole beach. And it's like hard to describe. Let's go ahead and get into an interview with Bert Hellinger. I've seen this like many months ago, maybe even a year and a half or two ago when I first got into family constellations. So I know it exists, but I don't remember exactly what was said in it, in this particular interview. So let's see. So let's go ahead and start recording.
How would you explain what it is that you do with families?
The main method I apply is the family constellation. That means that a client who presents me with a problem picks from a group representatives for various members of his family.
So can I just check this out with you? So someone picks out strangers out of an audience
Yes.
to play his or her mother, father, brother, sister, that kind of thing?
So I'm going to pause here. So yes, so this is a good place to start when we're describing family constellations and what happens in a constellation. And somebody actually asked me, it's the Truth Seeker. Hello. Thank you for watching and for tuning in and for being curious about these things. So for family constellations, this is a good place to start about what happens in a constellation. So there would be, let's say I'm the constellator and I'm the person facilitating. And I would have somebody next to me kind of sitting at a 45-degree angle. My teacher explains that this is one of the best ways because you're not like straight head on to each other. This feels more, oppositional. That would feel more oppositional or more intimidating if you guys were just straight face to face. But at this angle, you can kind of get a full view of them, but you're not completely just head on, like facing each other. So you'd have this person kind of sitting that way, and they would come to you with an issue. And normally there would be a workshop, so there would be a group of other people kind of sitting in a circle. But I've seen Bert Hellinger actually have like a whole audience of people. And so you would have this person, they come in with their issue, and they say, what their issue is. I, as the constellation facilitator, I would remain extremely present and in my body. And for me, it's very intuitive. And this is the way that I've learned as well. It's like to receive the information, not necessarily to be the part of it or to have your own foot in it, but to allow it to come from a much higher state of consciousness. So allowing yourself to get into a space of meditative awareness or in a different kind of state of consciousness where you're very calm and relaxed and very much in your presence. And so, yes, so in that space, when I hear about this issue and I kind of ask more questions to get down to the root of where did it actually come from? Because many times we can say, like, let's say they came in for an issue about money. And as I ask many more questions, we get down to the issue of when I was a child, my parents were very afraid of, or they can think of a particular moment in time where it's like they were a child and their parents said something about money. And so this became a very subconscious, deeply rooted belief. So my job as a facilitator is to like get right down into where is the actual root, or where is the specific moment in time that we can tap into to allow this to move, whatever the blockage is energetically, or whether it's like in family system where things keep getting passed down. And so you get down to the root of it, and then you'll receive information, and it's hard to describe because you kind of have to just experience it to know what it is. And so once you get down to it, you realize, or you get this awareness of ask her to choose this person to represent money, and ask her to choose this person to represent her mother, and someone to represent her father, and someone to represent her as a child. And so these people who are in the workshop, they step into the field, and we would have the client go ask them to represent this particular person or this particular thing, like the money. And then she would place them into the field wherever she feels that they belong. And so after they're all placed, she would come and sit next to me, and everything gives information based on where she places them, how they're facing each other, what the person's body language is as they're stepping into the field. What do I feel in my body? Because sometimes I can feel it viscerally. Like sometimes I'll feel like, oh, I feel like a tightness in my throat, or I feel a really deep sadness in my chest, but I can't quite, move it through. It feels like it's very stuck in there. To me, it's called kinesthetic, where you can feel energy. And also it can be called clairsentient when we're talking about psychism, like feeling it in your body, or feeling what the energy of the room is like. And so from that point, so we would have those people in the field, and every single time it goes very differently. And in my last Constellations training, we talked about how you can't step into the same river twice. And this is, I don't know where that quote came from, but the river and energy, it's always flowing, always shifting, always moving. So you could get back into the field in the same exact issue with the same exact person, months later, but energy has shifted so much that it's never going to be the exact same thing that it was the very first time, even if it's the exact same issue. And so let's say we added these people into the field, and many times these people start to feel things, or they'll say things, or I will ask them, what are you feeling? And then they'll start to explain, oh, I'm feeling extremely sad. I feel like I want to sit on the floor. And then another person says, I feel like I don't like this person who's speaking. And then that gives, you as a facilitator information about what it's like for this person, or what the dynamics were when she was a child, or what the dynamics were in this particular snippet of time in her family system, where the energy got blocked, where it began. And so, yeah, it can go many ways, and it's always very different. But as a facilitator, as you're receiving these awarenesses, many times you'll receive a sentence or a healing sentence, and then you'll feel like, well, you can even sometimes you'll ask the client to speak to a particular participant who's in the field, or you'll interact with this person who you're doing the constellation for, and help them to understand what the dynamics were in that particular field. Or you could have the participants speaking to each other, or moving emotions, or having them say particular sentences to each other. And then it helps this person to kind of see it in a very different light, or to have new relationships when it comes to their family members, or to realize why they have subconsciously decided to not become successful when it comes to allowing abundance or monetary wealth in. And so it helps them to see, it's been the family system and the many things that have come before me that have caused me to take the path in life that I've been taking. And now in that moment where all of that energy starts to shift and to move, they realize I have other ways that I could be moving my energy or moving my time, or other choices that I could make. So really it's about freeing up the energy to allow the person a new path in life, or to understand where it comes from. It's a very beautiful work, and it moves so much emotion. It's also really tough work because it's not light and fluffy always. You're really working through some of your stuff. But it's very beautiful work. So let's see what else he has to say. I just went on a big old rant there. Okay.